Good day, everybody, and welcome to the first video on Coach Oak YouTube channel. As we're going to get this going, and we're going to start this off with a nice little my favorite top 10 Pokemon video. Throughout, I'm going to also give you a little bit about me as the Pokemon coach, so you can get to know me, get to know my training regime and everything like that. But more just let you know who I am as a Pokemon player, and throughout, as I'll kind of be talking about plans for the channel and things like that, and we'll do more of that at the end as well. But yeah, we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite Pokemon because that's always fun to do, and why not start us off with a little bit of a bang on this video. Obviously, top 10 favorite Pokemon is something that changes for everybody often. It's dynamic, as we like to say, but it's going to be where we're at right now on the 1st of May 2017. So let's get started. So I am the Coach Oak. I'm starting this channel just as kind of a fun thing to do. I've been getting, last couple years or so, we've been getting really into Pokemon again. It's kind of come back from my childhood. I never really stopped playing, but I'm back in, jumping with 2 feet. This is kind of the next step in that process. I do like to coach. That is one thing I do, and Pokemon's my hobby, and just kind of combine the two. And obviously Coach Oak just sounds nice, and Professor Oak obviously is the start of your Pokemon journey, and if I could be the start of someone's Pokemon journey, awesome. If not, that's fine too. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm a casual player who's turning a little more competitive, and we're kind of gonna go through some training together and just do some fun things. So number 10 on this top 10 favorite Pokemon list, we are going to Gen 1. I did start in Gen 1. I did start playing. First game I played was Red. A friend of mine had it, and we would play kind of before and after school type thing. But the first game I owned was Yellow, and Yellow is probably my favorite in Gen 1. But Snorlax makes this list. He is Gen 1 Pokemon, as I said. He's the spirit animal for so many Poketubers and just Pokemon fans alike. Eat, sleep, destroy things. It's, Snorlax is just awesome. Shooting Hyper Beams from its eyes, pulverizing pancakes now. Snorlax has always kind of got a lot of love. It felt really special in the first gen because there was only 2 of them. They would block your path. They kind of were a challenge to wake up, a challenge to battle. If you missed out on it, it was a sad day for you. Snorlax is really cool. The fact it took so long to stand up is an amusing little Pokemon world thing that just has kept it endearing. And don't really like Munchlax. I wish they hadn't made Munchlax a thing, but I guess we all got to come from somewhere. Snorlax is awesome. I love that it can go special and physical with its moveset, even though its special is not very viable. But as a kid, when I started with this, using Snorlax, often I would have 2 on my team in Red and Yellow. 1 special, 1 physical, as I got a little older and knew the splits. But some of these things would have things like Psychic. We would have Body Slam, Psychic, maybe Earthquake, maybe Flamethrower, some random spread. It got all the elemental stuff, and just, it was really fun to use. It was really, really fun to use, especially younger. Still like using it. VGC 17 right now, the Trick Room Snorlax, obviously making a comeback, just warms my heart a little bit. And yeah, I think that's all we have to say about Snorlax. I mean, it's not too controversial pick. Snorlax is in a lot of people's top 10. Number 9, Venusaur. Typically the most hated starter because it's alongside Blastoise and Charizard, but it is one of my favorite starters. It is not my favorite starter, but fully evolved starter, of course. You'll find out later who that is, but I do love Venusaur. It's probably the one I use most often in Gen 1 because, well, there wasn't very many good grass types, so it got used a lot. It's getting the chlorophyll has kind of helped it. The poison type getting better because of those sneaky Tapus has made it better. And, Torkoal getting drought, it's still viable. It is sometimes tricky to use, but I love using it. Whether it's Draft League growth sets in the sun, whether it's doubles, blasting out some moves. It's got some shenanigans, Toxic Leech Seed Stall with synthesis and whatnot. It can do so many things, and I love the look of it. The big beast, the big toad flower on its back could be a little prettier, but yeah, it was Gen 1. Can't really complain too much. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I love using Venusaur. Not the easiest to use on playthroughs, which, like, obviously it was at the start, but as you went up, it got harder. But, you know, it's Venusaur. It's wonderful. It's a throwback. Nostalgia's real with Venu. And thanks to the Virtual Console, getting that chlorophyll in Sun and Moon is very easy and very nice. And I look forward to a lot more fun with Venusaur as we go into these years. Now, jumping out of Kanto and out of Gen 1 into my favorite generation and favorite games, being in Hoenn, Gen 3, in particular Pokemon Emerald was my favorite game. Now, obviously, Metagross wasn't around then, but Metagross was. I did like Metagross. It was not my favorite from Gen 3, and we'll find out who that is later. I do love Mega Metagross. I do love original, but Mega Metagross just adds that little bit. The animations when he uses things like Giga Impact are just incredible. It just looks awesome. In ORAS, when ORAS came back out, was kind of the starting point of me jumping back into things because it brought back nostalgia again. Emerald being some of my favorite. I wish they had the Battle Frontier in ORAS. Teasing Delta Emerald in the post-game was mean, but I wish we had it. But Metagross showed up a lot. End of the game in Emerald, I would go get ones for Battle Frontier in particular. As fourth slot on with my trio, which you'll find out who that was later. Mega Metagross is awesome. That event Beldum for ORAS was awesome to get. It just looks great. And Steven's the best champion ever. I don't care what you say. Steven is incredible, and that Mega Metagross obviously is a pain in the butt. And with the new Mega mechanics, it becomes even more so. But yeah, Mega Metagross, it's a monster. It's just so cool. There's not much else to say about it. It's so cool. There is a lot going on. I get why some people might not like that, but it just works for me. It just works. Number 7, Nidoking. We're going to jump back into Gen 1. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is going to be similar to Snorlax. Nidoking is my favorite early game that you can get. Yes, it's a little broken because you could get, fully evolved Nidoking before you face Misty. Before he went over that Nugget Bridge. So that's a little bit OP, but for the times, but it's Gen 1, we'll go back to that saying again. Love that it can go physical special. It has ridiculous coverage. This thing also can run all of my favorite moves, my top 4 favorite moves in a moveset, not super viably, but it can do it, being Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Earthquake, and Mega Horn. Those also representing my 4 favorite types, which it represents 2 of itself with Stab. So getting that EQ on this thing and Sludge Bomb and just it can do so many things. It's so viable still. That Sheer Force being able to run both sides. Scarfnito's fun, even though it's not run that much. E-Belt or Life Orb. It can do so much. It's so viable. Draft leagues and things like that as well. But it's just the design of it. I loved it. Being able to get it early was helpful. It just thrashing on things in Gen 1. EQ and thrash, that was all you needed on this. But you could also surf, like it's a ridiculous amount of things this thing could do. And it looks beautiful. I love that it's kind of a mashup of things that just works. It looks like a very classic. This and Rhydon are kind of what I think of as the classic first gen designs that just look awesome. And obviously they are fairly similar, but I do like Nidoking a little better, I think just because you could get it earlier, and because I do like that poison typing as well, instead of the rock. But it's awesome. We're going to move on from Nidoking now. Gyarados. So Gyarados is another Gen 1 Pokemon, but when I think of Gyarados, I don't really think Gen 1. I didn't use it too much in Gen 1. Probably I did use it some. I think we all did. But for me, Gen 2 and 4 are really where I used a lot of Gyarados. Gen 2's not my favorite, but we'll get into that a little later. Gyarados is awesome. I mean, we all wish it had the dragon typing. It would have been OP in first gen if they gave it, so I get why it doesn't. Its Mega should have. They dropped the ball with Mega Gyarados, but the original is awesome. It's like, what else do you want to say? It's beautiful as it is. The water typing with the blue, the shiny with the red, them giving you the shiny. In Gen 2 with the red Gyarados is great, even though it felt really special, and I kind of fell in love with it coming from that Magikarp when you got that Magikarp early, and you had to train it in kind of a different way because you weren't beating anything for XP when you were splashing in its face, right? So it just felt special. It felt really cool. Gyarados is obviously very viable competitively, whether it's VGC, draft format. It's got a lot. Z moves have helped it out as well, whether that be Ground EMC, you can run Z Bounce if you've got the event one. Yeah, Gyarados is just such a fun Pokemon, and I love using it still. Yeah, it's my favorite water type. There's not much else to say about that, and definitely the one I use most. Number 5, Rotom. Rotom's going to look a little different than a lot of the other ones on my list. It's not this big beast. It's just kind of the guy that I would love to have kind of on my side on a Pokemon journey, just causing mischief and just keeping things light and fun. I loved being able to travel within Sun and Moon as well. I wish you could have battled with it or caught one as well, but whatever. They tried. So close, Pokemon. So close. Rotom Gen 4 felt so special. I do love Gen 4. Obviously Gen 3 is my favorite. Gen 4 did not disappoint. Rotom being so hard to get and you needing to put in the effort, and kind of this was when you could kind of start, at least for me, started, Googling, like, how do I get this thing, what day of the week do I have to go, etc, etc, etc. And just getting this Rotom, many playthroughs I've had kind of the weaker, smaller, cute-looking electric type on my team because I wanted the typing and because I just liked it. Whether that be Pikachu in yellow, obviously, or I've had Minun, my first Hoenn run through. I don't really like Minun that much anymore, but it's still got that little special place in my heart. Rotom is definitely my favorite Gen 4. I love it. Yes, its other types are better, especially now that they've got the type changes. Especially, of course, the washing machine. I like the other types. I don't love them. I love original Rotom, and it still can do some fun things, especially lower tiers. It can play a little role. I love this little ghost guy. I just think it would be so fun to have a Rotom, whether that be in your Pokédex or out. Mega Camerupt. This is probably the one that's might be the strangest on the list because I don't know anybody else who really loves Mega Camerupt or Camerupt itself. Camerupt is a Mon who I fell in love with in Gen 3. Got that Numel. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first fire type you could get, or one of. Along with Torkoal was in the same spot, and I think there was one more. So it was kind of the first fire type. I got it in my first playthrough, and I was like, cool, I need a fire type. There we go, because I did not start with Torchic. Although I probably should have. I don't know. At the time, I was really about fire types. So I got it turned into Camerupt. I fell in love with Camerupt. It worked really well, especially on my trio that I used in the Frontier and that. They might not have been the best, but they worked well together. They had really good synergy, so I used Camerupt, Gyarados, and Sceptile. Obviously, this is Mega Camerupt, not the original. I've done a lot of talking about Camerupt itself. I like the design of Mega Camerupt better. I haven't had a ton of time to use it. Now that I'm using Trick Room a lot more, I would love to use Mega Camerupt. If once I said release for Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon's kind of become my return to Trick Room. Actually, not return, my beginning of me using Trick Room a fair amount. I love the design. The volcano on the back's wonderful. It just fits what it is. It fits what it does. The blackened rocks kind of on the base just add a nice little layer to it. The M on his forehead kind of tying it to Team Magma. It's always going to be tied to Team Magma, of course, but Mega Camerupt's just, well, it's kind of derpy, and Camerupt's kind of derpy. I love it. It can run both sides of the spectrum again. It's got some fun stuff it can do as well. I mean, who doesn't just loving clicking Eruption with a Pokemon that has a volcano on its back? I love it. It's great. Fire and Ground, two of my favorite types. It's a really good combo. Number 3, we're jumping back to Gen 2. Not my favorite gen by any means, but one good thing that came out of it was Heracross. I didn't use it a lot because it was hard to find, and it didn't have that great of a move pool in Gen 2, but it's only gotten better from there. I did use it a fair amount in some Gen 3, getting it at the Pokemon Safari. That's not the name. Yeah, Pokemon Safari, yeah. Anyway, I've used Heracross a lot in Gen 3. It's been very nice to have on the team, very helpful. It can do some different things, but my absolute favorite, and probably my favorite set of all time, is running Scarfed Moxie Cross, all the way from OU down to Gen 6 OU. Heracross was beast. Buzzwole obviously gives it some competition, but I think it's better than Buzzwole because it's got a better fighting stab. But yeah, Scarf, Moxie, close combat, especially close combat, but Mega Horn, EQ, and Stone Edge. You got that Edgequake. You can run knockoff as well. I sometimes have, depending on the team I've got and whatnot. But it's not the most reliable, but it's an absolute glass cannon that can sweep through teams really, really, really well. You kill a couple things on Revenge with the Choice Scarf Heracross. You're a +2 attack, half defense and special defense, but you don't care because you're faster and just slam everything in the face and they die, and it's great. I love the design. It looks beautiful. In the anime, not a big anime guy. I have watched most of them. Actually, I haven't seen really any of the Sun and Moon ones yet, because I try to watch them when they're in English, because effort, subtitles, reading. But Gen 2 was kind of when I was most in the anime. Ash's Heracross, messing around with Bulbasaur was always fun. Yeah, it was just a fun time. The Heracross with the big corn on its head, it's really well designed. Obviously off a Rhinoceros Beetle, which are really cool. I do like beetles. They're one of the coolest things in the animal world. There's such diversity in that, and I'm glad it's there. I always seem to forget Pinsir's a first-gen Mon because I always think of it with Heracross as Gen 2 Mon. Heracross being better, I do wish Pinsir got the fighting type as well. It would be so much better, but it tried. And then it got a Mega, which was cool. Mega Pinsir's great. But this is all about Heracross because Heracross is one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon of all time. But the top 2 definitely are separated from the rest of this list. And this number 2 is Mega Charizard Y. Charizard itself could go here as well for sure. I do go with Mega Charizard Y because it's more viable competitively, obviously. But Mega Charizard Y, it hurts me a little bit to not have this number 1, but you'll find out why, of course, when we get to number 1. Mega Charizard Y. Charizard obviously was my favorite starter from Gen 1. And it did a lot of fun things. It was really fun to use it in Gen 1. It's obviously not the best Mon, but it was badass looking, and as a kid, I mean, how could you not fall in love? So many of us did. So many of us still are in love with Charizard. Yes, it should be a dragon. It's not. It's fine. Yes, Char X has the dragon type, but I don't like its design near as much. Love the design of Mega Charizard Y. It's sleek. It fits with what it is. I love that it's special. I like the special side of things. And it's setting up Solar Beam for itself with Drought. Drought just works so well with it. It's just, I really, really love Mega Charizard Y. There's not much to say against it. Ash's Charizard was always good for a laugh in the anime. Who wouldn't love just flying around on Charizard's back? And Sun and Moon, they gave it to us. It's great. But yeah, Mega Charizard Y is in the top 2. It's so hard to not. This could be a 1B type thing. But my new number 1 favorite, taking over the spot from Charizard / Mega Charizard Y for the first time since way back when Pokemon started and I first got my game, is the starter from the games that have brought me to the point of deciding to make YouTube, because I've fallen so hard in love with Pokemon. Incineroar. Yes, I know Incineroar is probably the most hated final evolution of the starters in Sun and Moon, but it's absolutely my favorite Pokemon of all time. It brings together so much of what I like in my hobbies. I am a wrestling fan as well. Um, Love wrestling. It's taken over as a really great form of entertainment for me. Pokemon as well. Tying the two together is awesome. It's got that fire typing I love, which might not be my favorite type anymore, but it's still like my top two mons are both fire type, so it's hard to say it's not. Not a big fan of the dark type, but I love heals and wrestling, so it just fit, just worked. I liked Litten, I liked Torracat. Yes, I was really excited for an awesome Tiger, like just mix of Luxray Pyroar type thing. Like you could do so much there. I thought they were gonna nail it out of the park. Siberian Tigers are my favorite animal in the world, so I was so excited for that. And then it came out, and everyone got really mad that its hands were too big, and it stood up again, and all this. And I just fell in love. Yes, I still want that Fire Dark Tiger. Heck, if they make this a Mega that's Tiger, that would be sick too. I don't care. That'd be awesome. But the fact that this became a wrestler, I know we got Hawlucha. I like Hawlucha. I do. I like Hawlucha. It reminds me of Rey Mysterio, who's my favorite wrestler of all time. I like the Lucha style, but Incineroar just ties so many things together. I love the sets you can run with it. You can run a Scarf, you can run a Bandit, you can run AV, you can run Darkium, the Insignium Z, you can run Firium Z, you can run a bulky support with Fake Out, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp. Oh, you can do so much with this thing. Getting U-Turn, Leech Life, Frost Chomp. It just fits so well with what it was supposed to be. I loved it. I loved it. I don't nickname too many Pokemon. This is one I nicknamed. Because it was a wrestler too, I felt like I had to. Ichiban, it's Japanese for number 1 as I understand it. Tying into favorite wrestler is Shinsuke Nakamura, who had some merch out talking about Ichiban as well. I might be pronouncing it wrong. If you know, leave a comment down below. Please, I'd love to make sure I got that right. I love the belt on this thing. He's my new Intercontinental Champion forever. Sorry, Dean Ambrose. Sorry, Miz. It's just, when it hits Flare Blitz, when it hits Malicious Moonsault, it just looks so awesome. I feel like this is something that, if you really wanted to, barnstorm into the Pokemon League and come out champion, this was the type of mon you had to have on your side. I loved it. I still do. It's my favorite Pokemon of all time. It just brings together so much of my hobbies into one place, into one mon, into one snarling, awesome face. And yeah, so we're going to leave it on the screen just for a bit, but we're going to talk. So, I'm starting this YouTube channel just kind of for some fun, a little hobby for myself, improve myself a little bit. These will get better quality. Yes, looking back on this, I guarantee this will be embarrassing for me, but I know this is low quality, but I wanted to get something out. I wanted to start making stuff. I want to start getting better with the computer, with editing, things like that. It's not something I've done a lot of, but I've kind of done a little bit here and there. But I want to get a lot better with my computer skills. So this is that. I like making lists. I like having my opinion heard. Things like that. And yeah, YouTube seems like a fun place. I've really fallen in love with YouTube, especially PokeTube. The community seems awesome, and this is kind of my start into that. Future things to look forward to. Some more lists, of course. I've written out a bunch of stuff over the last couple of years. Things like, this is what my gym would look like if I was gym leader, so things like that. So you can look for that in the future. Some showdowns, recordings. Love to do that with making some fun teams, sharing some battles with you. Looking forward to future potential draft leagues on this YouTube. I do love the draft league format, so we'll have to see about that. And just, I'm not going to say you're going to get this, and this time, but this is what, as I make videos, as I feel the desire to make videos, I'm going to put them up. Please, watch, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But really, I hope you just enjoy. Even if you just watch and leave, that's fine. I'm just doing this for my own fun. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully, you know, you'll be here as we coach ourselves to being better Pokemon players, and that's the way it is, because Coach Oak said so. Have a great day, everybody.